The mother of a police officer who sexually abused hundreds of children online hid phones that police were looking for during their investigation, one of which was buried in the grave of her cat in the garden. Lewis Edwards, 25, from Bridgend, psychologically manipulated, bullied, threatened and exploited his victims and blackmailed them into sending indecent images of themselves. He was in contact with 210 children on Snapchat, pretending to be a boy of a similar age to gain his victims' trust. He then forced them to strip naked and abuse themselves as they sobbed and begged him to stop, while using a screen recorder app to record the abuse.
Through our line of work, that people search the internet to find indecent images of children. Is that how you obtain this material?
No comment.
Do you, other means we know are like via the dark web, people access the dark web.
No comment.
Is that how you go about obtaining this type of material?
No comment.
Other ways people communicate online with like-minded individuals and they trade and they share indecent images and videos. Is that what you're doing?
No comment.
Another method might be to directly communicate with the child, whether that be using a profile suggesting you're an adult or a profile suggesting you yourself may be a child, and then getting children to send material, what we would call first generation material, to you. Is that how you obtain your images and your decent images?
No comment.
That's quite important. What I'm saying to you is when we examine this hard drive and this desktop computer, where we fully examine it, are we going to find evidence of you engaging in sexual communication with children,
No comment.
inciting children to engage in sexual activity and sending you pictures and videos of themselves,
No comment.
indecent images and videos?
No comment.
Edwards was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 12 years in October last year, after the former South Wales police officer was found in possession of 4,500 indecent images of children and later admitted 160 counts of child sexual abuse and blackmail. He joined the force in January 2021, but is now barred from policing after a misconduct hearing.
I understand there will be people asking how Edwards could have joined the police at the same time he was committing these terrible crimes. At the time of him joining South Wales Police, his vetting was clear, and there was nothing to indicate that he was involved in such abhorrent offences against children.
A sentencing hearing at Cardiff Crown Court on Tuesday heard a search warrant was executed at the defendant's home, which he shared with his parents on February 8th last year. A number of electronic items were seized from the property, and Lewis Edwards was asked for pins and passwords but responded that he didn't want to say at this time. He was remanded in custody, but police later received a phone call providing intelligence that Rebecca Edwards, his mother, had recovered 2 mobile phones belonging to her son and was told by Lewis Edwards to bury the black one. After being told the police had received intelligence about a phone buried in the garden, Rebecca Edwards looked at her husband and said, "I buried the phone in the garden where I buried the cat."
Despite all of the other factors in the sentencing guidelines supporting suspension of the sentence, this offence is too serious for anything other than an immediate custodial sentence.
Rebecca Edwards was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. She will serve half the sentence in custody before she is released to serve the remainder on licence.